Today we are following the advice of Tom Laurie, and we are making some sails for the America. These sails are made out of Silkspan, which I followed his advice and put the Silkspan on a board, rolled acrylic paint on it, I've let it dry, and now we're drawing up the individual lines. So I'm just going to take you quickly through that, and then we'll look at the details following his method. And when the Silkspan dries, this is what it looks like. It's got some strength to it and a consistent color, and it really is something that you can work with. It can fold. As Tom says, it's really a material that is to scale. Now you're going to take your piece of dried Silkspan and transfer from the templates that you've made up onto the sheet and draw out all the lines. I was very lucky to get this drafting table given to me by a friend, John Otway, and it really makes the work so easy to put repetitive lines at the exact dimension on the sails. I put the markings on the side away from the sail. You may not get the line exactly on that mark, and you will see a difference between the line and the mark. So the marks tend to be off the part of the Silkspan that I'm going to cut. And the only other thing I would say is to use as hard a pencil as possible and as light a mark on the sail as possible. Simply because the pencil mark, as you press down, or as if the pencil is very soft, it tends to spread and give you a bigger mark than scale would imply. I also have lots of pencils, so as soon as I see the line getting too wide, I simply change and get another one. You need to do nice long non-stopping lines, because when you stop you actually get a difference in the thickness of the line. And you'll notice that the Silkspan is taped down. You need to tape everything so it doesn't move at all, because that will cause some errors, shifting lines. Having drawn the lines on one side of the sheet, we now have to flip it over and put the lines matching on the other side. And the key to a nice finish is to make sure that the lines line up perfectly, and so that you don't have lines on one place on this sheet and on the other side in another place, because you'll actually, when light gets behind it, you'll see the difference between the two lines. And remember, this is really a seam in cloth. So to do that, I have found a little simple method of mounting the Silkspan on a piece of plastic, holding it up to the light and gently marking off the sail where those lines are to go. And you need a very fine point on your pencil, because you're putting very fine lines, and then you're going to come back, and you're not going to use any fancy measuring device like I have on my table, a straightforward ruler, because you're following a line. And if you made an error on the first part, you simply must show that error on the back side. And this last piece just shows us cutting out the seams, and you'll do that to scale, whatever the scale you're working in, to make sure that it's correct. One of the things I do is to write down all of the specifics about the sail. And in this case, the sail has a line here and here, and a line on the bottom to attach to the boom, and on the tack of the boom. So we're going to stick these lines before we put the seams along the edge of the sail. and they're all stuck. I tended to use a little more glue than I would normally use, and so I don't water it down too much. And they're all got a little, they're attached, but if you pull them too much, they will come off. So now we're going to put the seams on, and then on all the edges we'll have a little triangle support, which is how the sails were actually made. Now we're wetting the sail where the strip or hemmed piece is going on with just plain water. Then we use the diluted PVA glue. We do not put any glue on the strip itself because it tends to fall apart when you do that. We put it down and then we come back with some PVA glue on top of it, and we really end up with a very nice finish. You might get a little bit of wrinkling, but you can take that out with an iron of some sort. And you can see the triangular patches, the hem or seam on the sail. The extra piece will be trimmed off, and hopefully that will all dry and stick beautifully. Here we have the sail that has been released from the greaseproof paper, and really I'm quite pleased with it. One down and 3 more to go. There are a few little pieces that I'll still need to stick, but all in all I'm quite happy. Some of the strings didn't line up exactly in the corner. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with that yet, but I'll probably pull it to the edge and then re-stick it with some diluted glue just to get it right in the corner. Really very happy with how it eventually came out. Of course, to really find out how good it does or how good a job we've done, what we should do is just do a quick trial fit on the model. So if there are any issues, now is when they're going to turn up. So it looks like it'll fit like a glove. We're going to bring this video to an end. The other 4 sails are just going to be a repeat of what we've seen here, and I'm going to guess that the more sails I make, the easier it's going to get. One thing I have decided to do is I said I was going to fold these sails, but I feel that that's going to be problematic for this boat and for how I want to display the model. So for now I'm going to rig the boat as I've rigged the other one, and learn how to fold the sails in another video. So thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful, and we'll see you in our next video.